Hello. As you heard, I was a little sick laying in bed last week. But my favorite part of this trip was being able to do a VBS for the first time, because in every other trip I've been on, I did like manual labor. I would do yard work, painting, all that stuff. And this year, for the first time, I was able to do a VBS, and I had so much fun being able to, I was on the craft teams, so we had so much fun being able to just see the kids so engaged. Like one day, we colored hats, love this hat, and I was just sitting at this little table next to these like 5-6-year-olds just scribbling all over their hats, and it was hilarious because they would just like go and grab the pen out of my hand. And I just thought that was really fun. And then something that God had taught me on this trip was, before this trip, I had always been kind of like scared to share my faith, scared to like pray out loud to people. I thought I was kind of like having to perform to do it, and I was too scared to like volunteer to pray, volunteer to share my faith. But on this Sunday, the first full day of the trip, we're in our van ride going to the church, and my leaders, Ben Cura and then Miss Biasato, silenced the whole van and was like, hey, we need 2 people to share their testimony, so we're going to pray about it, and then we're going to pick 2 people to do it. And of course, Ben picked me. So I was given like 30 minutes, 40 minutes to notice to share my testimony. And of course I was terrified at first, but then Ben was praying for me. Ben and Miss Biasato were able to like tell me why I should pray and like how I should pray. They were like, you should pray for boldness to be able to share your faith. And that continued throughout the week. Was every morning on our way to where we were serving, Miss Biasato and Ben would lead the van in prayer and not only tell us what to pray for, but also why we should do it. And they were giving us little mini lessons in this van ride, and I just learned so much from them.
All right.
Hi guys, I'm Jacob. Last week I was pretty sick in bed. I kind of funny actually. So before, on Saturday, I'll just explain it real quick. We were leaving, I got Starbucks from El Salvador, got some ice from there as well, some food, we ate mangoes on the trip, all these different things. My stomach was fine. We made it into America, I was doing great. And then all of a sudden, we went to Chick-fil-A and I ate the food there. I don't know if that was the issue, but once we got on the plane to go from Miami to Delaware, I just started not feeling so well. So basically, I was just up against the window, just trying to sleep and stuff, but I didn't have a stomach ache. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shoot. And I had Mercy's pillow on top of me, and I literally just threw up all over. People said it was like a faucet. It was really bad. It was traumatizing. I'm sorry, TMI. But I was crying, throwing up.
All right, time's up. Time's up. This is
And so basically that is the reason I could not come last week, because I was throwing up all that night and I was just not feeling well. So that was super sad. But then what I wanted to share, Steph already shared it, but I'm going to share something different. But this trip for me was just really transformational because of just how the leaders kind of cultivated the environment for the trip. All the leaders were kind of focused on the Holy Spirit, and we prayed that the Holy Spirit would move in our team and empower us and just give us boldness. And so going into it, on Thursday we did a group hangout at my house before the trip, and I did a little devo on Acts 1:8, and then into the trip all the leaders have been praying about that verse and thinking about that verse, and it talks about how you'll be empowered by the Holy Spirit, and then you can be a witness for Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth, Jerusalem, all those things. And so it was just really cool to see how God kind of unified us even before the trip, and we all were thinking the exact same thing. So it was cool to step out in boldness on the trip and be able to pray over people and share the gospel boldly. And it was cool to see every single person in the entire group step out in boldness. So yeah. But yeah, throwing up and all that did not ruin the trip. It was amazing, and I loved it. Just a memorable part.
Nice.
So the part of the trip that was most memorable was going to visit all of these families and going into their homes, and they were so welcoming. None of them were like, oh, I don't really feel like welcoming people into my home, or you're from another country, so I'm scared of you. No, they were all very happy. They all prayed over us. We had to sing songs in their homes sometimes, and it was just touching, I guess. What God taught me is that it doesn't matter where someone's from or who they are, but they can connect to you, even if you can't speak the same language as them, right? I don't speak a lot of Spanish, but I can still connect with a lot of the kids there and play soccer with them, and yeah.
Awesome.